A proposal to break California into 3 separate states will be on the November ballot.
This is a crazy political environment. Anything can happen.
The attempt is being financed by venture capitalist Tim Draper, who in the past pushed to split the state into 6 regions.
So how would this new 3-part plan work? CBS 13's Drew Belay is getting answers and joins us now to explain. Drew?
It's a complicated process, and right now it looks like the way Mr. Draper would have it, it would be 13 million people in each part of the new 3 states, and all 3 would still be in the top 10 for population within the United States. Sacramento and San Francisco would be included in Northern California. Los Angeles would be down in California, and the rest of the state would make up Southern California. And while supporters say smaller is better, the hurdles to achieve this are quite big.
It makes no sense the way it's been carved up this time.
The effort to break apart California has Steve Maviglio scratching his head.
I think it's just going to cause political chaos, and it's a major distraction from the real issues facing our state.
He's a spokesperson for the organized opposition to the proposal.
Anybody who studies this for 30 seconds will know what a silly idea it is.
He says the plan, which garnered more than 400,000 signatures and will be on the November ballot, has never been studied or examined. He also says dividing state parks and the education system would be costly and a logistical nightmare.
This is a crazy political environment. Anything can happen.
The idea of splitting up the state isn't anything new. It's been tried about 200 times, and all of those efforts have failed.
Awesome. Cal 3, right?
But that hasn't stopped Bay Area venture capitalist Tim Draper.
You get this amazing opportunity to start rethinking all the things that are going wrong now.
He's made several attempts at breaking apart the state. He says California is too big to be adequately governed. Low ratings in education and taxes are reason to split.
We don't have any other states that are going to be the model for the future.
An enormously complicated process of pulling apart, a decision that California voters will now have to make. Now, this has happened before, but not since the 1860s. That's when West Virginia split from Virginia. The other cases of state splitting were the creation of Maine from Massachusetts, Kentucky also from Virginia, and Vermont from New York.
A lot of people scratching their heads at this idea, but depending on what happens come November, is the decision there the end-all be-all?
No, not at all. There are a lot of hurdles to this. There'll be legal challenges. There might also be not only those legal challenges, but it could be possible that the state legislature would have to pass on this, and then things would go to Congress. So again, this is only the beginning, and it's still got to get past the voters of California.
We will certainly see. All right, Drew, thanks.
And to learn more about the campaign to split California into 3 states, or to read more about the past attempts to break up the state, simply head to our website, cbs13.com.